All right. Well, from Drag Race Canada giving us life back after a rough year to Meet the Queens, let's just do it. Athena Dion, Briar Blush, Sierra Mist, Darlene Mitchell, Didi Fuego, Discord Adams, Jane Don't, Juicy Love Dion, Kenya Pleaser, Mandy Mango, Mia Star from Wilton Manors, girl, I know where you drink. Mickey Meeks, Nini Coco, what a cute name. And Vita Von Tess Star. I gotta say, I think IRL, I would be friends with Sierra Mist because she came out in an Angela costume and that shit served. Athena Dion, we got a Greek queen, Briar Blush out here absolutely representing Boston. And only one New York girl. What is your
New York
problem?
girl?
5 girls from Florida, 1 girl
Yep.
from New York, 1 girl from LA.
Florida years. They're dipping into the humid waters of Florida.
Yeah, I mean, I legitimately do think it has something to do with courting conservatives because, like, yeah, and then that's fine. It's, you know,
Hey, listen. Let's elevate more local girls in red states.
yeah, exactly.
PBH.
I also
Let's
wonder
do
if
it.
with like year-round dragability, so they can build up more of a fan base instead of New York, where it's too cold to have your tits out, mama.
You're not going out. Yeah, no, I mean, there's a lot of
Okay.
reasons for it. And we lived through a heyday. I mean, we had to like almost suffer through. I talked about it before, season 8, and the talking about being from New York of it all. I at the time loved it, but you know, it also, like, it was annoying the girls at the time. There's so many girls from New York talking about being from New York, talking about New York. So like, if everybody just wants to talk about,
We get it, Britta.
Lake Okeechobee, I guess that's what we're going to be doing, and that's great. Yeah, this is a really fascinating bunch. What I noticed immediately is I don't know if this was the choice of girl or the choice of interview questions plus prompting in the interviews, but everybody talked about old stuff, like you know, being inspired by classics, being inspired by classic drag, but classic music as well. You know, a lot of people talked about you know, 90s Dolly Parton, Cher. You've got something on this, Tori?
They're all old as hell.
Yeah, they are also a bunch of fucking old
in our
heads.
age. We got
Yep.
what we wanted. Seasoned
Yep.
queens, ladies and gentlemen, and it is wonderful.
Oh,
Athena
the
at
golden
38.
spatula.
Athena at 38, Didi at 37. We don't have ages for Sierra or Discord or Kenya, but I bet they're. Oh, Mia Star's 39 and the most gorgeous man alive. Mia Star, I don't know what to do about that situation.
I don't have that one.
Okay, everybody.
Well, Mia Star's really easy to look up because she has been a dancer in every
Oh,
man's
yeah.
music. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, like, good God.
I don't know.
And apparently was doing callbacks for contestants on The Voice when she got her callback to be on Drag Race. I have some questions about sort of being, and Nico, you brought this up, I forget in what context, but the idea of, like, you're already a working entertainment professional in the industry, and then you're going on the show. I have some questions about that, but you know, we're early on, and so not going right into that. But everybody really, like, for one thing, also nobody talked about I'm like a bitch and I'll be really mean to people's faces.
Briar Blush.
No.
1,000% was like,
There's
I'm
some of
that
that.
bitch. I'm the girl who's gonna shut you down. Like,
I will
dragged.
Yes. Briar's representing Boston very well. I do highly recommend heading over to Entertainment Weekly because they drop their interviews with the season 18 queens like they normally do, except instead of the 30 to 45 minute group interview that it's been in the past, this was a 12 to 15 minutes one-on-one with each queen, over 3 hour video, just going to town on and you learn a whole bunch. You get to see them in another amazing look. Like, it was just, I really feel like between that and everything else and the Meet the Queens links, like, we are really getting to know these girls now and see what they can accomplish just from before we even see them enter the workroom.
I obsessively love that perspective because, like, honestly, hey, that's a Greek boy. What's up?
Oh my God! Right, there's so much trade this season.
Yeah, there is
They're
a
all
bit.
very attractive out of drag, and I don't know how to feel about this.
Yeah,
Well,
it's rough.
I feel great.
And one of the things that's so interesting is like we're at a place where your out of drag persona is becoming as important as your in drag persona.
100%.
People follow you for who you really are. And so this escalation of what it takes to be a drag star on this show is very fitting to the way we've remolded our identity of what a drag queen is in social media. I feel like we are also reaching a point where the show doesn't necessarily want to ignore existing celebrities, but the show is looking to create its own celebrities. God, just straight up Angela greatness, a little bit Starfire, a little bit Angela, a little bit perfection. So handsome out of drag.
Right? Another one.
Really feel like one of the things, right? One of the things that this season is already promoting is the girl is the package. She is the whole package. She is the person in drag. She is the person out of drag. She is the talent she displays. She is the artistry she shows. She is the looks she wears. She is the dancing she does or does not do. As some of these girls have already said, excuse me, my knees are poorly insured. I think what this Meet the Queens gave me that previous Meet the Queens didn't, and we've already touched on it, is previous Meet the Queens were always like, I'm here to be that bitch. Mama, I'm gonna slay like my name was Faith. Like, and we're getting girls that are a little bit more like, no, I mean, like, you've got to be big, you've got to be loud, but I'm a whole person. I'm not just an image. And like, none of the girls that said it in the past were just an image. They've all been a fully rounded person, but we're reaching a place where there's almost a fiduciary responsibility of the show to set these girls up to be able to make money. And I think this Meet the Queens humanized the girls under the makeup without ever showing them under the makeup in a way that I think MTQ often struggles to do.
Well, I also want to say on that note about Meet the Queens, congratulations to Mistress for elevating herself to producer level, because the fact that every single person was asked, you doing your big one this year?
And all of them were like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I'm not a child.
I literally love all of them going, sure, why not? I'll do my big one. I
loved that, and I'm missing her name right now. Mickey Meeks was like, what? Did Mistress write this question? The fuck?
You mean Ginger Minge's niece?
No.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Like Bionice or like
drag me. I don't know. That's
hey! I'm not here to judge. Question. We've been around that long.
Sometimes drag queens have straight family, and it's.
I mean, Sabrina Carpenter is the niece of Bart Simpson. Shit happens.
It's true.
Also, quickly, so I did a little bit of what I used to do back in the day. When a cast was announced, I used to do a little bit of sleuthing to see people's performances, to see like, what is their performance style like? Like, what do they try to do? What's their gig? What's their zhuzh? I am caught in this love-hate idea of wanting to see Juicy in the bottom because I've seen clips of her lip syncing, and my God, I sit there slack-jawed, but like I want her to do well, so I don't want her in the bottom, but I want to see her perform.
Let's have some lip sync for the crowns. Let's have some, or the win. Let's have some lip syncs for the win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can be so fun. I'm so excited. I think a lot of these girls are going to be really crazy awesome performers. I'm excited to see how these lip syncs go. There's just so many of these queens that I'm just like, oh wow, I really love this. Oh wow, I really love that. Mandy Mango brought her own crown. Grew it. I was going to say grew it right out of her head, but I know that's not true. The gravitas, the awareness, the referentiality that is being presented in these queens, the strong personalities, the fashion, it's all, everything is really here in a way that I'm just like, I understand now why like pre-season 12 queens are like, I wouldn't go back if you paid me. Like, you'd have to pay me more because I can't give this. I don't have the connections for this. I don't do this.
Speaking of connections, I have a little bit of a concern about the Dion family thing.
Okay.
The Warwicks.
The Warwicks, thank you. It could be nothing. It could just be a cute, like, oh, we're here. Oh, look, it's a NICO. Very cute NICO. What a match.
Look, she's
I
doing
don't-
everything too.
I
She's a
think
star.
it's fun when there's family connect. Like, I love the idea that Carrie Colby was on the show and then Sasha Colby was on the next season. There was a while where everybody was from the same LA family that had like Detox, Mayhem, Delta. And, that part of it is because they're working with talent agents and representation on both sides that have connections with these people. And, you get a discount. You get my girl on, that we'll make sure that this one's ready for next season. Or, if we put this girl on, can you give us these opportunities for touring? We know there's a lot of dealing that we don't know about, but is happening around management, talent, family, all of those things.
I'm actually kind of surprised there isn't more of a cottage industry around more than just the fashion. That there isn't like, oh, drag race boot camp, sewing classes, drag race boot camp, dancing,
Vocal
all of these
lessons.
kinds of things.
Yes.
Yeah. Where is that cottage industry? Because it's obviously not being used.
Start musical
Yeah.
camp.
Yeah,
Me and
do
Tori,
it.
We're doing it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Okay.
I mean, and it would be nice because the show isn't doing it. It's that thing that Nicole Bayer was talking about. Like, nobody is teaching these girls how to come up with a Snatch Game character. And that I do think that's when you, like, again, she gave a 3-minute lesson on a podcast. And I think it's almost everything you need. Figuring out how to do a RuPaul's is actually a lot of difficult stuff that I think a boot camp where you just sort of practice singing like a song that like you should sing well, but it is not going to be a Broadway show. Like a production where you're gonna learn choreography and you have to learn it quickly, but nobody's asking you to do the best job ever. You just have to learn a little bit. Like this is just about getting the basics. Actually, I think that is a brilliant idea. I think you guys should start that. But yeah, all the way back to it, Morphine was a fantastic queen and a really great character. And Athena seems awesome. Juicy seems awesome. I think they will be really cool. Sometimes I'm sort of like, what do you, World of Wonder, want me to go into this with? And also, more importantly, what are you expecting me to take out of this? Like, do you want me to get excited to see them fight? Like, are we crashing towards their lip sync that we contrive to get there so one of them wins a challenge they're absolutely not supposed to win so that they can stay another week? One of them loses one that they actually did phenomenally well at so that they're in the bottom so that they can lip sync together. We've seen these contrivances on Drag Race. They are getting old, and having the big sign flashed in front of us this early, Dion and Dion, what's going to happen? I'm not looking at it getting excited for what the drama potential could be. I'm grabbing my table going, I'm concerned about when this puts us on a road towards, stuff that is not dignified for these contestants in order to give us that TV moment that, like Canada is showing us, they're not that good. When you don't have them, the season doesn't suffer dramatically because girls can pull stuff out like reacting dramatically to events. And that's plenty. We don't need to contrive to get them into lip syncs they were never supposed to be doing.
What this meaty, thick queers showed me was that you can actually go back from the 16 crayons in a box where 4 are neon, 4 are pastel, 4 are shading, and you can go back to one of each girl. And while I definitely see the family connections, one of the things that I was so excited about was a couple of girls were like, I don't dance, I'm a fashion queen. I don't dance, I'm a reaction queen. I don't dance, I'm a singing queen. And then you had girls that were like, I dance. And you had girls that were like, I'm classically trained in dancing. Like, I was given a beautiful selection of talent here. And what made me excited about it, and I'm so glad that our opinions are like almost like not contrasting, but they're complementary in that regard. In going into this, because like I felt last season like we were being handed several girls from a similar cloth, and I feel like this season every girl is a beautiful fabric I've never seen. It's beautiful. I can't stop. I felt every girl was their own beautiful
Nice in a
fabric.
broadcast.
Right. I also want to say, Jane, don't. I feel like you and I would fucking vibe. I wish you still smoked more. It's okay that you don't. But I feel like you and I could sit back, watch some Drop Dead Diva, and have a fucking night of it with a bottle of Moscato. You know what I mean?
I love that she's a Seattle queen and a lawyer. Like this is a drag professional who's also a professional, and this is what I'm like. I
She
I felt like
the last whole bet.
yeah.
We have
And
there's
this
a
is not the
mechanical
way.
there's mechanical engineer in here too. Is that
We
true?
do- yep, we have a mechanical engineer. I mean, like these are
Queen after my own heart.
Yep. We've got a queen who is an accomplished professional, dancer, performer, producer.
We've got a nurse.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, so this
Different
is
nerves.
a really accomplished professional bunch. I love that because I think people should have cool careers and do everything. I worry about the shattering of the American dream in that I feel like all these people probably work these really difficult jobs and still don't make enough money, such that they're hoping that a good turn on Drag Race will allow them to perform and breathe and make some extra money.
You're not wrong, buddy.
No,
You're
I know.
not wrong.
I know, and I'm sort of like,
like
no one should
like
have to be both a lawyer and a drag queen that is trying to like get success. You should be doing the drag part because you love it.
Reception indicator. Everyone on Drag Race has a day job. Oh
Yeah,
no, it's 2012 again.
A full-on career.
Yeah.
Yes, but drag is also in a part where it's very, I don't want to say it is oversaturated.
Yeah.
So a lot of the drag jobs
Yeah.
on top of the economy in the US, at least that we're currently in, a lot of them are drying up because there's just so many queens. And so
Yes.
it's hard to get a booking, and it's hard to, I don't know if there are, outside of people who've been doing it for so long or established queens, like, I don't know how many newer people getting into the scene get to do drag full time as their job and have it pay their bills.
Yeah,
I think
100%.
we are seeing like the crop of the start of these people who have a full time day job. I mean, what was her name? Sugar Cane had a 6-figure job in New York.
Yeah.
That she was like, I made my money, I'm good. Like I'm gonna just do drag because I love it, and that's what she wants to do. So I think it's where a lot of them are trying to go, but
Yeah.
it is very hard even for Drag Race girls now because there's so many of them.
Yeah, and that's sorry, Nico, go for it.
Oh, I was going to say, and I feel like that's even something that is kind of bleeding over from legitimacy in other fields. Like something that, the men in this queue are really into baking shows and cooking shows. And half the time somebody's like, yeah, so I helped create a nuclear weapon, and then I made 10 figures, retired, and now I'm a baker. And like, you're so used to that in what are considered legitimate arts by crazy people, that now that everything here is a bit more legitimate, that people understand that drag is an art form. It's beautiful. It's deserving of your respect. It's deserving of your money. You're seeing people have the opportunity to make those same decisions, and it's inspiring, really.
It's definitely inspiring. I continue to worry about that, going into debt and spending $30,000 on your package to come to this show. And then again, not showing most of that $30,000 worth because you're going home early. And going back to, thankfully, hopefully you have a day job and hopefully you have a career and you're making money, but like, it's just, there's a lot of moving parts, and I really hope that there are people that are doing this for the love of it and without stress. But I do know from how the girls talk about it a lot of the time that it's expensive to get here, and somebody is going to have put up a lot of money and not get to show what that money paid for. And my hope is just that everybody's able to take something from the opportunity that allows them to move forward and allows them to get some return on an investment and, you know, not break their back for an art that they love but can't sustain them to, you know, pay bills and be able to eat food.
Tori, when Mickey Meeks came out, did you think to yourself, theater girl?
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah. I was like, oh, this one's for me. Yay. I was like, Mickey Meeks looks like they belong right on UK and crushing the competition. I'm so amped.
And she came out with her keys. So
I know.
As a person who is a NICO, who has a stylized NICO name, let me just say, Nini Coco, I respect your game. I understand you. I think you're beautiful. I love that you came out dressed like a star. I don't know. I'm just really into this Meet the Queens. I thought that this is an exciting batch of girls. I thought that this is an energized moment for Drag Race. It's exciting to see how many girls I do feel were underrepresented in the last few seasons. I love the incredible blending of culture that we've got. Proudly Latina girls, we've got proudly Greek girls. I did just take off my Cuban hat. This is, of course, my Cuban Yankees hat. I wear it all the time. And I love it, but I did want to represent New York for a minute. I feel like where we're getting back to with the show is a kind of like a punch out moment where we're breaking through that you've got to have 10 million people on social media. And we're back to some girls that are like, oh my God, like my 3 fans, my mother, father, and this camera. Like we're getting back to that place where it's okay not to be famous before you're on the show that's supposed to make you famous. Mm-hmm. And it's exciting for me because I don't want to say that like I think most art should be born from pain and suffering and hunger. I think art without being held to a financial standard, art that is meant to be art, can be powerful and beautiful and incredible. And even when the girls, you know, make the money and they change, that's fine. I want to see it here. And this almost gives it back some of that Canada legitimacy. Not that Canada isn't rich girls, not that Canada isn't wealthy girls that have made it, but we all know that Canada as a country does not necessarily revel in the same economic excess that the United States does because they still want to maintain their soul. And so it's a little different. And I felt here like these girls will absolutely lip sync for their life and not go, well, my rate is increased. And I'm not saying anybody did that last year, but this is a group of girls that are gonna fight and for it, not each other. Maybe we'll fight each other, but I think they're all going to be lovely. And I would love to get a few more thoughts, sound off on this, move on to UK. This is like Pokemon with a link cable. There is so much trade here. This is outrageously well directed for a Meet the Queens. All of the girls' looks had a really well put together cohesiveness. This could all sit in the same Barbie binder. And I hope that the season delivers on the promise of the personalities, because if it doesn't, it's not the fault of the girls. Sometimes the most beautiful colors come together to make the weirdest painting, and that's not any color's fault. So I'm really excited to see where this is going to go. Guys, hit me down the line.
That'll be me to start, I guess.
Yeah, because you're right below me in the line.
I know. Yeah, I mean, you know, this was my ears perked up pretty early on in this Meet the Queens, and I really enjoyed it. And my questions became like, again, was it a casting choice to pick a bunch of girls who had sort of a different idea and similar ideas about the energy that they were going to bring onto the show? Was it a production choice to say like, hey, let's highlight these features about the girls? And even stupid things like are you going to do your big one question and what's your signature scent indicated that they were doing something a little different for the Meet the Queens that really benefited them. We talked about how Canada's Meet the Queens kind of didn't benefit the girls. you know, and didn't do anything bad, but they're such an amazing cast. And I didn't fall in love with them in the Meet the Queens. I didn't dislike anybody really, but I didn't fall in love with them. And then literally the minute every single one stepped into the room on the first episode, I loved them immediately and just continued to. So with this Meet the Queens, I really did love these girls right off the bat, each one. And I hope that we build on that and that it's not sort of a new producer is working on Meet the Queens who did a great job, and then it's the same old gang on the show, maybe not doing the job that I would like. As you said, Nico, if it's not great, I really, in this case, don't think it's the fault of the girls, because I'm sensing something in them from what they talked about that just tells me that this is an interesting group. But I am putting the sword to World to Wonder. I don't think they always do right by the girls. I do think there's things like, if the Rusical is great, you give people the chance to shine. And if it's not, that is no girl's fault. No girl writes the Rusical, but that reflects on, they don't get a chance to shine. And if the Snatch Game format is weird, if the Snatch Game is done with 18 girls, it doesn't have the same volley as waiting until waiting until it's 8 girls, and it's a totally different thing. So who knows what it will be, but I really do hope. I'm particularly interested in this thing that you said, Nico, about like girls are coming with pretty specific talents and then not other talents and not talking about them. What is it going to, if you say I'm not a dancer, are we talking like, are you going to face plant when we have to do a girl group challenge? Or are you just not the best dancer? And when the girl group challenge comes, you're going to apply your energy and talent in a way that, even though it's like a unimpressive 2-step, we fall in love with you for it because you're really doing it? Or is it just going to be like, well, no, I have no idea how to dance, so I'm screwed for this challenge, or I've never sewn anything, so I'm screwed for the design challenge. I'm interested to see with this particular group, because they are talking about things that they're really strong in, and they just seem to have this sort of vibe about them when it comes to the idea of drag that leads me to believe I might be surprised by a girl who is outside her comfort zone in a particular challenge. And I hope these are all things that we see. Excited for this season, really trying to temper my expectations though, because boy, World of Wonder has let me and the girls down more than once in the last few years. And I want to figure out how to honor how great I think they are with how I know the show is a business that is trying to, first and foremost, make money, not trying first and foremost to make sure everybody comes out of this looking as great as they actually are.
And now I'm terrified that the Rusical this season is going to be Wicked Foreskin.
Yeah, you should be, because I think that's close to accurate.
Tori, save us.
I'm so amped for the season. I think these gals look great. I think, I'm excited to have Kenya Pleaser bringing it for the big girls. I'm excited for Vita Von Star. Really, really caught my eye. Didi Fuego. I think we've got some really crazy talent on here that I'm very excited for. I think Discord Adams is going to be something interesting this season. I'm really interested to see how she kind of fits in, how Rue responds to that, because I feel like her alternative style is a little more than we've had from the alternative girls before. And I think Sierra Miss is just a hoot, just a bisexual hoot.
So I am very excited for the season. I'm always excited for Drag Race. I'm super pumped. My two things that I'm really looking forward to. Well, one is I've known about Discord Adams for eons, I feel like, at this point. So I'm so excited that she actually got on the show. I'm excited to see what she can do. And it's always like fun when you recognize a name and you're like, oh, I know her. Like I recognize that. Two, I'm so happy we got more Philly representation. Andy Mango. I haven't got to see in Philly, but yes, go Birds. And if you perform in Philly, we have to go out and see her now. And three, my biggest hope is I think I'm coming to find what makes or breaks a really good drag season is the chemistry between the cast. I think we see that with Canada 6 having great chemistry with one another, whether it's positive or negative, leading to entertainment and beautiful moments that make for good TV. And I think the opposite of that is true on UK 7, where the chemistry between all the girls is a little weird and they're not as, something is off. So I think part of the vibes for that season is now also being off because they're not meshing in a way that becomes entertainment. So my biggest hope is that that they cook with this chemistry. That's my biggest hope.
Mm-hmm.
And, my understanding is that they do. I saw some... I'm not as deep into social media as you and Tori tend to get when it comes to this franchise. But in getting material for this episode, I saw some, snaps of the whole cast at breakfast and stuff.
Aww.
And so everyone looked really cute and really sweet. This cast is really interesting. The family connections are really interesting. Something that I was saying would be wild to do down the line is like an all family season or something, like maybe for the 20th or something big. But because there are so many family connections, some sort of mother-daughter pageant would be really fascinating to do at some point, bringing back old queens, or whether they're the mother or the daughter. That would be a really fascinating way to present something like that, sort of half all-stars, half new queens, giving these ideas away for free if you will let us interview you when you do it. Sierra Mist, obviously, I want to, of all the queens, make sure that I shout out her. The deep cut references by saying Power Rangers in Space and Lost Galaxy, which is the season where the Power Rangers are polyamorous. Watch it and you'll see it. There's an episode where they're literally all just in a cuddle pile. It's bizarre. But,
this is not the Sierra Mist that owns Sierra Mist, right?
No.
Because that one spells it like the actual soda.
There's a queen that owns...
She owns the name now because
that
Sierra Mist company forgot.
She spells it the right way.
There's a girl who owns the name Sierra Mist because the company forgot to refile their trademark. They were after her for years.
Pepsi.
And they forgot to file the trademark, and so now that's why it's spray or whatever it is now.
Work. No, I love that.
I was like, I don't think it's this drag queen, but it would be cool if it was this drag queen. I feel like they would have talked about it on the show. So anyway.
It would definitely come up if it was the case. But between that and Tommy and Kimberly reference, I loved her. I love these queens. I love the look of this season. And I am very excited to come back in a month and talk about it. Hooray.